Crystal Palace, though, is a big story, mate. They got pumped today 4-1 by Brighton. And look, there's no embarrassment getting beat by Brighton because they're a good side, especially at home. They're a little bit inconsistent this season. The manner of the defeat wasn't great. He made changes at half-time. He brought Elise on, who didn't start the game and then got injured. So he obviously wasn't fit enough to start. He's put him on, Roy Hodgson, and then he's had to come off. Crystal Palace fans have lost their minds and saying you don't know what you're doing to Roy Hodgson as Elise walks down the tunnel. Why is he putting him on when they're 3-0 down? The game's over. They've lost the game. He's your best player. He's obviously not fit, and you've put him and risked him in a game that has already gone. Well, why is he doing that?
Well, in his defence, the game wasn't over. I think there was half an hour to go, if he don't put him on...
You put him on at half-time.
Yeah, but if he don't...
They're 3-0 down, Dean.
But if he don't put him on, he gets hammered, and if he puts him on... And as you know, we know, apart from ACLs and breaking your leg, a hamstring injury is the worst injury you can have because you never know when you're right. You come back, you can sprint in training. Subconsciously, you're probably not flat out in training.
It's only when you go to a game.
When you get tired and it's gone again. Obviously, his hamstrings, he wasn't right. But if he's fit enough to be on the bench, as the manager, unless you've persuaded him to go on the bench, if he's as far as the manager, you think he's fit, so you put him on. I feel sorry for Roy Hodgson, to be honest. I know people are going to disagree with me. He spent 38 million. 20 of that was on Henderson, the goalkeeper. If you only spend 38 million in a... How long has he been there? 2 years? Is this spell? Year and a half?
Season, yeah, that he's been back, yeah.
Then you risk getting relegated. You risk results like this. And if your best players then get injured as well, he's lost Saha, but they haven't spent enough money. In my opinion, Palace have not spent enough money
with
to finish
Elise and Eze,
top half.
They are a championship side playing in the Premier League. Elise and Eze makes them look like a really good team because they're top players. But look, he's risked him today and he's got injured, and Palace fans are not happy. They were fuming after the game. The players went over there, Dean, we were watching it to clap the fans, and the fans didn't really take too kindly to it, did they? So let's go and speak to them. Let's go to Luke. He's a Crystal Palace fan, right, Luke?
Hi, Luke.
How you doing, guys? You all right?
I'm good, mate. You've been at the game, so you're obviously in that ground. I don't know if you was there at full time, but what's going on? Because you weren't happy.
No, I left as soon as the third goal went in. I just looked to my mates and I said, what is the point? And the main question is, what is the point in the football club at the moment? Starting from right at the top.
Hold on, Luke. You left when the third goal went in, wasn't it after half hour?
Yeah, half hour in I left because you could see by the players. And just the way
you left after half hour.
The players had no interest to be there. They had no interest whatsoever. And what are we supposed to think as fans, as our 11 players on the pitch, are supposed to give all they can, but they're just not doing that.
But they're not good enough. You're playing against a Brighton side that bopped you off the park, especially at home. Your team ain't good enough. Without Eze, without Elise, you's a bang average.
No, we are, because... it starts from the top. The only reason we spent the money we did on deadline day was because of the protests at Arsenal. So that's the only reason we spent that money on deadline day, because Parish has obviously has seen the message and he's noticed it. But still, we know we're going into the game with Elise injured, Eze injured, but Roy's stuck in his ways of he plays the same formation every week. Even though we've got injuries, we don't adapt to the injuries either with the formations we play. We play a 4-3-3. Jeffrey Schlupp's playing on the left wing. We've got Will Hughes and a centre half who's playing midfield as well. Even though we just brought a lad in for 22 million, he's a defensive midfielder.
Yeah, I think Roy, what is he, 74? Is he something like that?
Yeah.
I think Roy's strength is, well, I don't think, I know. Roy's strength is repetition. He can line a team up and he can get them organised. They're not going to play brilliant football, but he can actually get a team organised through repetition, non-stop, boring to training.
Well, it is boring.
So he can cover up all the weaknesses. He's capable of covering a team's weaknesses up. If you're asking him to start throwing punches the other end of the pitch, when he hasn't got the ammunition to do it, he hasn't got class players who can go, right, never mind the opposition, we'll just score more than them. So he covers up. And then when the players lose a few games and lose a bit of confidence, you're stuck. And that's what's happened, I think. They've lost belief, confidence, and eventually it'll be all on Roy, won't it? They'll sack Roy, not the players.
I mean, you must be gutted about Elise coming on at half-time and then having to go off. I mean, you weren't even there.
Yeah. Well, no, I wasn't even there to see it. I only heard it on talkSPORT, and it's 50-50. If he doesn't come on, fans are probably saying, why didn't they bring him on at 3-0 down? But then if he's not 100% right, the game's dead and buried at 3-0. We were shocked, and you can tell by the performance that the game was gone. So what was the point?
Look, I can't believe you've gone all the way down to Brighton. You've got a ticket. You know, your hard-earned money. Yeah, I know, but you've gone down there. You made it. Where do you live? Do you live in you South London?
No. So I actually live in the Midlands. So it's 3-4 hours.
What?
Yeah, it's 3-4 hours for me to get to a home game. I got a season ticket. I go to all the away games, and I just had enough. As soon as I saw the third goal go in, there was no
Luke,
fight.
come on, mate. You can't leave after half hour after going all the way down to Brighton.
I can't believe you sound so calm. Because you must have been raging.
You must have been fuming.
Half an hour ago.
Well, I've been in the car an hour and a half already, so I'm fine. I've calmed down now.
Unbelievable.
So you've tried Patrick Vieira, that type of football, and you've ended up with Roy. If Roy leaves, who are you gonna get in charge?
That's the big question. Who would want to actually manage Crystal Palace at the moment? Because we've got two star players in Eze and Elise. They're more than likely going to be going off. I think Mark Gurhey, England's centre-half, he's going to leave. Joachim Andersen, he's an unsung hero because he's quality usually, but he doesn't want to be there at the moment. This is another thing. We've got a good core of a team because we've got Lerma, Decore in midfield with Eze, Elise, and our two centre-halves. But other than that, we've got nothing to work with.
No, you haven't spent enough money.
We haven't spent enough money. All right, let's go to Jason. He's a Crystal Palace fan. All right, Jace?
Hi, Jason.
Hi.
Jace, how you feeling?
You sound rough.
Yeah, I'm annoyed, frustrated. It's hard for Roy. I'm in the element of the Elise thing, and I said he shouldn't come on, but I feel he had no choice to bring him on. And unfortunately, he went off injured 10 minutes later. We were so good last season.
I get that, Chase, but here's my argument. If you're losing 1-0 and you're in the game, I can understand it. Right, come and give me half hour. My best player. I know you're not 100%, but he's obviously said he's fit enough to be on the bench, but he knows he's not 100%, right? So he gives him half hour and he might do a bit of moment of magic and you get a point. You're 3-0 down at half time and you put him on. It's almost pointless. Brighton don't throw away a 3-0 lead at home.
Yeah, but so what would have happened if Yana brought him on and you get beat 3-0?
Well, then he's fit for next week.
No, but what would the fans have said?
No, but he's not though, is he? If he comes on next week and gives 9 minutes and gets injured next week, what's the difference?
What do you mean? Because he's got a week recovery. He's got a week to get it right. He's got a week to test it. He's got a week to see if he's all right.
He's obviously tested it. He wouldn't be on the bench.
But he can still get injured in 9 minutes against Chelsea.
Yeah, but it's another week though. He's put him on in a game which is over. The game's over.
It was over in a sense of the scoreline, but one goal gives you a platform, and the one goal we got.
Yeah, when you're 1-0 down, not 3-0 down against Brighton away.
Yeah, but you're
getting absolutely pumped.
Jamie, you're not dead and buried at 3-0.
Oh, Dean, you are, mate.
Not at 3-0.
You have seen Crystal Palace play.
Do you not watch the Newcastle game? You're not dead and buried at 3-0. At 4-0, maybe.
At 3-1, we had a platform.
Right, let's go back to Jason, the Crystal Palace fan. Jace, I know you're obviously not upset about the game and we're having an argument about Elise, but I really feel like you haven't protected the player there. I know he said he's fit, and someone might have told him he's fit. We'll hear from Roy Hodgson, and I'm sure he's going to get asked why you put Elise on. But I just think another week, he could have been fit for next week. Now you've probably lost him.
I understand he could have been fit for next week, and I totally agree. We have been awful. I said to people we probably shouldn't bring him on, but I don't feel Roy's got a choice. I feel he has to bring him on. There's pressure from upstairs. There's the element of if I can get this goal on 47 from Elise, it's been unfortunate. He's got injured on 54. He would have asked. He's no mug. Roy's been in the game a long time.
He's an experienced manager.
He would have asked Elise, are you okay running up that sideline? Are you sprinting? And yes, he obviously was. He obviously fought the need to bring him on. It's been unfortunate, but there's more to it. I mean, why are we playing Henderson instead of Johnson? At the start of the season, we were keeping clean sheets. Johnson got injured. Henderson's come in. We need to go back to clean sheets. We're conceding goals from corners. We're not scoring from corners. The last goal we scored from a corner was last season at Man City in August. I mean, that's a joke.
Yeah.
Non-stop. Edouard, top goal scorer, on the bench. All right, Mateta holds the ball up and runs for it, but he doesn't score a goal.
Would you sack Roy Hodgson?
Yes, but I don't know who comes in to do the element.
I know. Would you take, if you were Steve Cooper, would you take the Crystal Palace job?
Oh, come on, it's a Premier League job. Of course you take it.
Well, what? Yeah, but
Right,
you're getting set up to get sacked again.
Change he'd do.
You get sacked.
I don't see the change he would do. I honestly don't see who can change the way we're going because of our key players are out. It's not just Eze and Elise. We are missing a valuable player in midfield of Decore. He is an absolute maestro of a midfielder, and we are missing him big time. So that there's 3 key players, and any team down the bottom that misses those 3 key players at probably 50 million plus are going to struggle.
Yeah.
You take Solanke out of Bournemouth along with another player, they will struggle. You take the key players out of any team, and they will struggle.
Is that a lack of investment, though, from Steve Parish?
It is, yes. I mean, but he has bought another midfielder this week, and we've chose to play a defender in his position. So
you're in the big league. 38 million is like, if you're in the Championship, that's like spending 5 million and expecting to do well.
I understand. We haven't spent enough. We haven't replaced Zaha. We've had unfortunate injuries. Last season we got away with it because when Roy came in, there was no injuries. And he walked his 9-10 games. He had the spell of everybody fit, everybody played well, everything was happy. Now we've had a few injuries and the team's fell to pieces.